This business does $1 million a month selling chocolate that makes you horny.
And we're going to show you the difference between that and this $100,000 a month business.
This $10,000 a month business.
And this $1,000 a month business.
All of these were started by people just like you and me. And hopefully they get you inspired about businesses or products that you could launch. But first, we'll start with this $100 a month business. Tim and I are gonna go back and forth sharing the businesses that we found and breaking down all the key information about them. Personally, the $100,000 a month business that he found is one of my favorite businesses that I've seen in a long time. First up, I don't know if you've ever seen these Etsy shops that are focused on some super niche topic, but I found this one that is pretty interesting, focused on pickleball. And based on my calculations, they do about $280 a month. And the cool thing is that you don't actually need that many skills to run something like this. So they actually will show you some of this information on Etsy. This business uses a service called Printify, which is one of these print-on-demand services where you just throw in the little logo, the little image that you want to put on the mug or whatever, and they'll do the whole thing for you. And what's cool then is you can actually work backwards to figure out what their margins are, because obviously they're selling, for example, a mug for $19. On Printify, you can get it for like $7. So doing that, it looks like their margins are around 40%, but they've only been doing it for a little bit under a year. And so they're off to a good start there.
Yeah, what I think is really cool too is that if you found a bunch of little niches like this, you could really quickly make stores for all of them. And they don't even have to make much money individually. But if you have 10 stores that are all making between $100 and $1,000 a month, that could get you a pretty significant income with basically zero maintenance work necessary, because you're not holding the product, you don't have to ship it to people. Printify takes care of all of that. All you have to do is come up with some interesting designs in a niche. And I mean, with Canva and tools like that, it's never been easier to come up with a decent design.
Yeah, totally. And it sounds like we have an ad for Printify. We don't, but it just makes things easy. But I totally agree. And there's so many niches like this, like a pickleball, that there's a few people who really, really love it. And if you find things like that, it's easy to make a bunch of Etsy shops. If one of them starts to take off, you grow that one, and boom, pretty soon you're talking about real money.
So this next business is kind of one of those solopreneur type businesses. It's an online habit tracker app that makes it super easy to gamify and build habits. And they're doing about $1,000 a month from subscription revenue.
One of the things that I like about things like this, one, it's subscription revenue. So if you build a good app, people will keep coming back, and you don't have to do that much work to keep the app going. You just have to get it started. As well as it looks like this guy is promoting it a lot through content marketing, like on TikTok or Instagram, Twitter as well. And that's a great way to get people bought into this, because there's so much content you can make, even just basically copy from other people who are already doing it well, about how to build healthy habits. Here's, the top 5 habits that you should add to your life in the new year, stuff like that. Things like that, even if they don't go super viral, get views, and then you can easily direct people to download the app. So the pipeline of the marketing and the product is really solid here. And even if you're not technical, even if you don't know how to code, there are a bunch of no-code tools and things like that you could use to make an app like this. So it's becoming a lot easier.
Yeah, something else really sick about the guy behind this, he actually makes a ton of little niche products like this, and they all do somewhere between $1,000 to a few thousand a month. And so overall, he's making an absolute killing. And if you ever check out some of his promotional videos, they're like some of the most unique, funny stuff you'll find. He'll take scenes from like Wolf of Wall Street, put himself in there, and it's basically like him talking to one of the characters, and that's how he advertises for his different tools and apps like this. Wow. So it's pretty cool.
That's smart. This next one is a Telegram bot that helps you find the best cheap flight deals on the internet. They do about $15,000 a month. Most of that is coming from affiliate revenue, like the airlines will pay them to send people to their flights. And then they have premium memberships as well, where you basically get access to better features. So the creator has said that he's grown this a lot through word of mouth. I've seen his posts on Reddit. He also posts on Hacker News, Product Hunt, places like that. And because it seems to be working really well, it spreads around pretty easily. But I think there's a lot more you could be doing to market this if you wanted to.
Now, something cool just like the first business, is there's a ton of different little niches that you could make something really similar around, whether it be ticket prices for a really popular concert that people are interested in, or shoe prices for people that, you know, are really into shoes. This guy, even, it looks like he has something for hotels, which is already another niche that you could try this on. But there's a ton of different things that you could do this for that would be super valuable, and I'm sure this is super easy to run. Once you build it once, it kind of runs itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my understanding is he's basically using a lot of ChatGPT and those sorts of plugins to pull all the information together and give it to people. So it's not like it's super complicated.
So this next business is a little strange, but it's called drawnames.com. And so essentially what they do is they help make Secret Santa super easy. And what's crazy is they're absolutely like killing it. Like they're making a crazy amount of money for organizing Secret Santa. And so their business model is actually pretty interesting. What they do is they help you create the group, make it super easy. And so they ask you questions about yourself, like, you know, your interests, stuff like that. And they'll suggest products and stuff that would be a good pick if you can't think of what you would want for Secret Santa. And then once your group is created, everyone's put their information in, it'll send you what the other person might want. And what they do is they put all of this stuff in Amazon affiliate links. So the way they make their money is just people using their Amazon affiliate link to buy the product that their Secret Santa partner wants. Mm-hmm. And so based off of how many people they say they get, they say 28 million names were drawn in 2023. And I'm guessing the average price is probably $10 for, you know, something you're getting for Secret Santa. The average affiliate commission is I think around 3.14%, something like that. And so based off of those numbers, they're probably doing something like 8 million annually.
That's crazy.
Or about $600,000 per month. One thing to consider though is most of their revenue comes in December, like almost all of it, because no one's doing Secret Santa in July.
Yeah.
But still, like, dude, that's absolutely crazy. And
yeah.
I mean, they have no overhead, they don't hold any products, nothing like that. It's literally just Amazon affiliate links, so they have to do basically nothing.
Yeah, that's such a good business right there. I wish I had this business. I'm trying to think of is there anything else like this that you could create some sort of tool for? I guess there's like wedding registries is one that's sort of a similar thing. I think there's a lot of businesses doing that. But I think what they got down really well, because I've actually used this tool, we used it at my old workplace, is it works super well, and you don't even have to sign up. You don't even have to make an account if you want, so there's not all this random hoops you got to jump through to get it done. It's just super easy, so the word of mouth is incredible. Like you might have 20 people in your Secret Santa group, and then all of those 20 people now know about this. They might take it to a different group, and so it spreads in a pretty viral way.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What's crazy to me about this business is that it's something that no one would think of. I would never think of a Secret Santa group making website and it making $8 million.
Right.
Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
All these businesses you think of are, you know, some service or product that everyone's done before. But this is just completely different.
Yeah, and that's what makes me excited about business, because there's all these business ideas just like this sitting out there that no one has thought of before, but as soon as they do, it's a fantastic business to be had. Like whoever came up with this, you know, they were the first ones to do it, and now they're crushing it.
Right.
And there's got to be a bunch more stuff like that.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a total blue ocean idea. I don't think there's anyone else really doing this the way that they're doing it.
Right.
So, like, they have the market, essentially, which is just, 20 million people. That's crazy.
Yeah, good for them. So this last business is a fun one. It is called Tabs, and they sell chocolate with aphrodisiac ingredients that are aimed at couples.
What?
Yeah, and they have been killing it. They've been growing like crazy, especially through TikTok, because they make a lot of TikToks that seem... They don't do it like a normal ad where it's like, oh, here's our product, buy it now, it's so cool. They'll basically have, like I've seen one where it's, you know, this girl, she's just kind of like an average, everyday, fairly good looking girl, and she'll, you know, do the whole TikTok thing where it's like, oh my God, gosh, guys, like, and then it's text like, let me put you onto this thing, and she shows tabs, and then it basically like cuts to, I don't know, some scene, and then cuts back, and her hair's all messed up, like, you know, it just happened. It's like, this was the best thing that ever happened to me. And so it's fun stuff like that where people see it, and I think one of the things that they do really well is it has a viral element built in, where one is, it's like your reaction, you hear of it, you're like, okay, that's very weird, but also I'm kind of intrigued, you know? It's like, all right, I do want to learn a little bit more. But then also people will send it to their boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, I'm sure. If you see, even if you're not interested in buying it, it's like, hey, honey, look at this. Like, isn't this kind of crazy? So that's a new one. And I think the key that they're doing really well here is they're selling a product, but selling it as an experience. Like, obviously you are buying chocolate, but it's really aimed at something bigger than that.
Dude, and what's crazy is it looks like they're doing around $1 million per month.
Yeah.
And most of their traffic is just coming from like the TikToks that they make. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure they spend a decent amount on paid advertising. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I think a lot of it comes from organic content as well. As people are trying this and leaving reviews, talking about it, all of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's tons of people on TikTok making their own content about it too, which just like balloons it. And I'm sure they have a bunch of affiliates as well, stuff like that.
Yep. Newspapers and news sites are covering them like crazy because it's just an interesting thing to report about, you know. So yeah, I think that the product with a viral element to it, with a viral element based around an experience, there's something there. I think a similar-ish example is, I don't know if you've seen this, there's all these games, like card games, party games basically, that people will promote on TikTok. Like there's one called like For the Girls that are like girls talking about, you know, different experiences. You'd see it and you'd send it to your friend and say, hey man, this looks crazy, we should get this. And so they grow that way. So those are the 5 different businesses that can make you anywhere from $100 a month to $1 million a month. Hopefully these get you thinking about businesses that you would want to start, or your own business if you already have one, and gives you some ideas about how to tweak them or use these concepts to grow.